Good morning again, everyone. I really appreciate your being here with us this morning. And I thought I'd have some fun going through. Good morning again, everyone. I really appreciate your being here with us this morning. And I thought I'd have some fun going through. Good morning again, everyone. I really appreciate your being here with us this morning. I'm having an echo, and I don't know where it is. Good morning again, everyone. I really appreciate your being here with us this morning. I'm having an echo, and I don't know where it is. Good morning again, everyone. Okay, I think I've got this straightened out now. My apologies for that. That was my echo because I didn't have myself correctly set up. This is something of a technical issue for me, so excuse me as I get myself reset up. And it'll take me a second here. I had something on that I didn't realize I had on. And unfortunately, this just takes a little bit of fooling around. I think I'm good to go now, though. At any rate, I wanted to have some fun showing all of you some of the travails that our little tiny Christmas tree had this season. I've really enjoyed our tiny little traveling Christmas tree, which we initiated last year. And it's something that I thought would be fun for us to do on an annual basis, make a tradition of it. And so everyone knows it's just a tiny little tree that is hooked up to a battery, and I think it's a lawnmower battery, if I'm not mistaken. James could correct me if I am mistaken. At any rate, every day it travels around the ranch for a 2-week period, and it travels to different places. This year, we wanted to put it near some animals to see how the animals reacted to it. And so we moved it to the pastures and to various places. So let me take you through a PowerPoint that I have put together that will enable us to check it out together. Hang on here. Okay, I think you all should be seeing my tiny little traveling Christmas tree on the river there. This is one of the few days that we had snow this season. I so love it when there's snow on the traveling Christmas tree, but this year we didn't have much. But I thought we would just walk through the couple of weeks that the tree was out and about Dunrovin, and let's just start from the beginning. Okay, it started with James in the arena with the divas. He put it out there 2 weeks ago, today in fact, and the divas hung out there that night with the ponies with the traveling Christmas tree. And then the next day, the tree moved into Augie's little pen, where the mare's pen is, and he didn't pay it all that much attention. Ashley was very good about always moving the tree and putting hay around it so that the horses would be gathered to it. Now, one place that I didn't get a photo was one day we put the tiny tree in front of some trees on our activity lawn, and we tied some bones to the table and encouraged the dogs. And somehow I neglected to get a photo. And Celia, I see that you are on the Monday socials, and I know that you got a photo. So while I'm talking, if you wouldn't mind trying to find that photo and posting it in the chat, that would be fun. Everybody could see it. The bones worked and didn't work. We had 3 dogs out there, Cola, Buna, and Hudson, which is Ryan's new dog. And I think there was only a couple seconds in which all 3 dogs were gathered around the tree. And I actually think that Celia got a photo of all 3 of them. So if you can find that, Celia, post it. At any rate, after it went, it was on the activity lawn where the dogs could have access to it. We put it out in the south pasture. And we had it out there all day. And so I thought I would show you a short time-lapse video of what happened there in the south pasture. It's kind of fun. The nice thing is it was a beautiful bright day, so you can see the tree go through the entire day from daylight to dusk. There we see the tree going up. Thank you, Celia. Thank you very much for doing that. This is in very fast time. So this is the morning. Thanks again, Celia. You're really good at capturing these screenshots. And I really like the way Ashley put the tree out there with the hay around it. It really gathered the horses. And pretty soon we're going to see the sun come up here. This was almost a whole day that I condensed into a few minutes here. Okay, now it's getting darker. You can start to see the lights. I was impressed that the horses didn't bother it. And now you can see it's getting darker and darker. Like a merry-go-round. Exactly, Celia. It's like a merry-go-round. The horses are going around the tree. A very good analogy. And there you have it, till dark. Okay, the next day, Ashley took it down into the riparian area. And again, I did a short little video. I think I added some music to this one of the horses gathering around the tree when it was down in the riparian. So let's take a look at that. I may have added music to this one, I'm not sure. Again, that most of the horses just ignored that little tree. Well, that changed the next day, because the next day the tree was moved again, and you can guess who started to mangle the tree. Our own little Augie. Those young horses just can't help themselves but be a little bit pushy, as you just recently saw. So here we go. This is at night, and I thought this was a really fun little episode of Augie mangling that poor tree. Let's just see if we can take a peek here. This is at night. And I think it's really pretty the way the night light shines on Augie's white fur. Just kind of, but you can see he's very curious here. He's investigating that tree. I'm surprised that it withstood all of his mangling about. I actually rather like this little video because the reflection on his fur I find so pretty. He actually got a hold of some of the plastic garlands that are around the tree. Didn't like it. But isn't it pretty the way it reflects off of his face? I think this is really a pretty little photo here. And this is actually what I had hoped would happen, is that the horses or the dogs or other animals would come up and, show themselves around it. I just happened to be on the camera when I saw him doing this, so I moved the camera a little bit. I really thought this was going to be the end of the tree when I saw him do this, but no, that little tree just held up. What a character he is. Curious. I think that's Canner right next to him, who is not interested at all. Keeps trying to eat the plastic. What a character. And finally, he just moves on. And our little tree survived, although it looked like he may have rearranged some of its lights. So, the tree survived its trip down to the riparian, but I have to say, barely. And then, then it went down to the river for a number of different trips. And of course, having the tiny tree move up and down the river and across the river requires significant assistance by somebody, and almost always that somebody is James. And James, are you on here? Can you talk now? I know I didn't forewarn you that I was going to do this.
That's all right. I'm here.
Okay, I'm going to have you narrate the rest of this little film, which is you going across the river several times. And there's one point at which Boona's invited, and then Boona isn't invited to ride in the canoe. Let's just take a little trip with James across the river. Maybe you wouldn't mind narrating, James. Okay, hang on.
Yeah, it's always fun navigating with a 1-year-old puppy in the mix, and sometimes you gotta get creative. But the first day we took the tree and moved it upriver a ways. What you're seeing here is that I'm changing the battery in here because that battery had been in there for almost a week. Tree near the water, but I opted to set it kind of back on some rocks, and I'm really glad that I did, because all of that ice that you see, everything that's white, the next day it had all melted and the river was up an extra inch or two. So if I hadn't set it where I ended up putting it there, we would have had some trouble. So anyway, and then it's nice to dress up the bottom a little bit. So I put some sticks around it, found some driftwood, and kind of put that up. We spent a little bit of time trying to get the right preset engaged so that we could do that. And then I just took the canoe back across the river, and that does look kind of funny, Suzanne, with that tip bow of the canoe just pointing straight up in the air. I've since been advised to sit on the other seat, which is a little bit farther forward for the center of gravity, and I won't be pointing the bow up in the air. So yeah, the tree kind of hangs out here for a while, and we're able to see that. And then Kate and Boona joined me the next day, and we decided to bring Boona over and then grab the tree, stick it in the canoe. And I believe on this trip we invited Boona to come along, and it's a good thing we were both wearing our life jackets, because when Boona's in the boat, she's still young enough and rambunctious enough. Boy, it can get kind of tippy there, and we haven't been spilled out yet by her, but it wouldn't surprise us if that happens at some point before we're done training her up. But anyway, we're headed downriver now, and so we didn't invite Boona into the canoe this time. She can run along the bank during this side, because we're just going straight down the river, and she's going to follow us down. So we're getting all situated. Kate's getting in the back there so she can stir. We got to push off. Boona's not quite sure what to make of all this, but she'll figure it out.
I just love the sight of a couple people in a canoe with a Christmas tree between them.
That's a pretty great way to spread some Christmas cheer, that's for sure. So we head down the river, and there on this ice floe, Boona kind of gets caught up, and I think we miss it on camera, but she actually stepped through the ice, and we stopped here, and we're going to go back and get her, because she was in the middle of this chunk of ice and had fallen through, but she was able to get herself back out and get back up on the bank. And by the time we got back up to rescue her, so to speak, she had already gotten herself loose, but we missed all that drama on the camera. So it was a little bit hairy there for about 30 seconds. We weren't sure what was going to happen.
And unfortunately, this happened to be a day that the river cam was difficult to operate. We've been having some issues with it in terms of operating, so it kind of jerked around. But it was a fun day to watch you guys.
Yeah, we get a little bit of pixelation on this. Yeah, every now and then we have just some internal networking issues, and the because the river cam and the bench cam both run on a wireless video signal. Every now and then we have some problems. Of course, when I control it, Suzanne, so our sunrise bird is flawless. So, but we're just headed downriver here. We're going to pull off at a spot that provides a pretty good view from one of our presets, and we'll pull the tree out and. We probably paused there because I think I was on the phone with you.
Yes. And I was looking for a preset. Yes.
Yeah, and I think you spared us the trial and error of finding all the presets, because it's going up and down river all over the place trying to find which one's going to work for us. But
yes, it did. I tried to edit this out, but sometimes, I don't do that good a job. Anyway.
Yeah, so here we are. We've got it back on shore. I'm straightening out all the branches and stuff. And having just seen, I didn't see that video of Augie earlier. I'm surprised the tree still works, honestly, after seeing that. But it's no surprise there's a little bit of housekeeping to do with this thing.
This is its second year, and it's survived. I've quite enjoyed this little tree.
Yeah, it has, and I think Sterling came up with that big red star on top, and we wired that in last year, and that's all set up. And then, so the next day, we grab the canoe and go straight across the river. And Buna is not invited this time because she about tipped us over the last time we went back across. But this summer, if you've all paid attention on the cam, she did learn how to swim. And so she just followed right along across the river and everything. So she needed a bath anyway, quite honestly. So... And so now we're grabbing the tree, and we're headed across the river, but we're going to go back upriver a little ways, almost across from where we had it the first night. So we're we're going to be up at the tip of the sandbar, or the gravel bar here. And this little area turns into a little island.
It looks like you have an icy shore to kind of creep over.
Yeah. It is pretty icy there, and I wanted to make sure that we didn't put it too far onto the ice, because I didn't want the same thing to happen last time, that kind of the water thawed and then the ice melted and then the water level came up. So I set the tree back a ways from the point and lined it up with the camera, and then we went on the hunt for some driftwood. And kind of tried to get it all put together here. So it was quite a fun adventure, and we were able to stash the canoe on the side of the shore there, and Buna swam along and got a bath in the process, and everybody had a good time.
Well, thank you, James. I always appreciate how amenable you are to these crazy things that we do around here. You have such a fun spirit, as does your wife, as does your dog. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah,
So anyway,
always an adventure.
the tree went up and down the river, and one of the things that enticed me about the tree on the river was the sunrises. So let's take a look at some of the sunrises with the tiny little tree. A couple of them. They're quite pretty at sunrise. New Year's Eve, the sunrise, and of course these are in fast motion, but the clouds were pretty, and I like the way the tree is next to different colored water as it turns orange with the sun. And then the next day it was really foggy, and it was kind of fun to see the tree in the fog too. You can see the fog roll right down the river as the tree would disappear and reappear. And then we also had a nice sunrise on January 2nd. And this is where the tree was the last time on the river, and you can see it turn from dark to light. Very nice place to have put it, James. Looked really nice there. This, of course, is all in fast time. And again, you can see the water change colors. It's very pretty with the sunrises or sunsets. In the winter, we get more sunrises, I think, than sunsets that are pretty. So then, the last day of the tree, we took the tree over to the winter field and put it on top of our truck. And these photos are from the pasture camera, which we're having problems broadcasting. James was going to try to broadcast this instead of the ranch camera, but there are some issues over there. But I was able to take some still pictures. And as you can see, the horses did gather around it, both in the morning and in the evening and all day. Ashley did a really good job of encircling it with hay so that it would draw the horses to it. But this was its final resting spot, and it's going to be put away today until next Christmas, when it will come out again and travel around. And I really want to thank Celia for sending us so many screen caps. We will send you, Celia, a autographed photo of our Christmas photo in appreciation for all the screen caps that you sent us. And we just appreciate all of your participation. And I hope you guys enjoyed this little tree as much as we enjoy moving it around and seeing what's going to happen. We did try to get the birds to come, and they never did come. But if you want to hang in here with me, I may have, let me get out of the PowerPoint and see if I can find a little video that I did of the squirrels. The squirrels got around the tree when it was at the bench. And I did make a little video of that, and I kind of forgot it until just right now, and I think I can find it here. Hang on for a minute, and we could take a look at that. The birds didn't do anything, but Chelsea made these wonderful little pine cones with peanut butter in them. And of course, the squirrels thought that was terrific. Let's see if I can find the squirrel video and share it with you. Hang on there with me, everyone. It's here somewhere. squirrels. Tiny tree. Here we go. Okay, so here are the squirrels enjoying the tree. And this is, I have a digital zoom on this. So it just focused on the tree. And you can see they're figuring out about the little tree. And you can see the pine cones with the peanut butter in them. And pretty soon you'll see them take one at a time here. I think this might be when he takes one of them. They figure it out. And pretty soon they're pretty much all gone. This bench bird feeder station has certainly attracted the little mammals, the raccoons and the squirrels. My goodness, there's a whole population explosion going on over there. There he goes. He takes one. Quite the little prize. Chased off by another one who wanted it. This is the next day, I believe. You can see we're down to two now, one at the top and one kind of over on the right. It too goes here in a minute, the one on the right. There it goes. So every year we learn something, and every year it gives me inspiration for what to do the next year. And I want to thank you all for enjoying this with us. And go ahead and put any questions that you have in the chat if you have any comments or questions. Yes, it was a fun time, Celia, and I really appreciate everybody taking screen caps and drawing my attention to things when they were happening. And with that, unless there are no other comments, I will say goodbye and thank you for enjoying our tiny little traveling Christmas tree, which will travel again next year. And don't hesitate to give me ideas about how to dress it up and where to take it. Thank you all. And with that, I'll say goodbye.